Ah, I thought somebody that wasn't 6-2 said something. Whew. We just gotta let this one marinate. 6-2, baby. Philadelphia Eagles, New York Giants. Matchup number 2. Let's get into it. Welcome in and welcome back to the Down South Philly show, brought to you by the Sports Lounge Media. Make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure you comment. Gotta subscribe. As always, help share this live out. We're gonna get into it today, man. So, unless you missed it, the Philadelphia Eagles get their revenge. Yep. Take down the New York Football Giants, led by Jackson Dart, uh, by a score of 38-20. How did we get there? So defensively, Jackson Dart was able to go 14 for 24, 193 yards, one touchdown, no picks. Um, Stymied the run game mostly because the Giants had to play from behind, most of the night. Most of the day. Tyrone Tracy Jr., 10 rushes for 39 yards. Dart, 6 for 17. Scatterboo, only 3 rushes for 12, but he did get injured in this game. Gruesome injury, by the way. So, with that one, prayers goes out to him and his family, wishing him a speedy recovery. It looks like he will miss the remainder of the year. Hate to see that. Wandale Robinson had 3 catches for 48 yards. Singletary, 1 catch for 28. Slayton had 2 for 26. Could have had 3, but he was his big touchdown run got called back due to a offensive pass interference. So with that being said, defense did their thing. But let's get to the offense. Jalen Hurts, another stellar day. Went 15 for 20, 179 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. This performance came on the back of last week when he had a perfect passer rating. Again, no picks. Welcome back, Saquon Barkley. Can we give him a round of applause? Even though it wasn't his fault that he wasn't doing this earlier, it's good to see him back in the fold. 14 rushes, 150 yards, 10 yards of carry with 1 touchdown. He did get a little nicked up in this one. And as a precautionary measure, didn't come back. Game was out of hand at that point. Didn't need him. Let him rest up coming into the bye. Tank Bigsby had a great day. 9 rushes, 104 yards, averaging 11.6 a carry. His play of the day was a huge conversion where Hurts gets sacked and is like third and forever. It's second and forever, third and forever. Tank Bigsby picks up every yard, and we actually convert on that one. So Hurts also added 4 rushes for 22 yards. Shipley didn't really do much on the ground, wasn't needed. It was really the Barkley and Tank show. Now, in the air, Devontae had a great day. I'm actually shocked that his day wasn't better looking at the stats. Devontae Smith had 6 catches for 84 yards. Could have had a touchdown on the same drive that Jahan Dotson ended up catching his touchdown, but hey, we scored a touchdown. I don't care who it goes to. Jahan Dotson had the one big catch for 40 yards, touchdown pass, where he literally rips it from the defender. And let's talk about Jahan Dotson for a while. So Jahan Dotson is one of those players where he doesn't really get a lot of love from the fan base because of a lack of production. But his lack of production doesn't have anything to do with um his skill set or lack thereof. It's really just usage. He's not utilized. Whenever we call on Jahan Dotson to make plays, he makes plays. I would absolutely love it if we could figure it out and keep him next year. But we'll see. We'll see that when we get here. We still got a lot of games left. Um, Barkley provided something in the in the past game. 4 catches for 24 yards. Goddard had an and a touchdown. Sorry. Goddard had 3 catches, 28 yards, but 2 of his catches was for touchdowns. Um, Second in touchdown receptions, by the way, this year. We gotta give a hand clap for Goddard for his impact. And I'm glad that KP is using him as a red zone threat because we should have been doing that his whole career. Um, it was good to see Darius Cooper get back out there. Didn't log any noteworthy stats, but it was just good for him to get in the fold. Maybe we can use him in some shape or form down the stretch. But offense looked good. And the reason why offense was the skill players was able to put happy Tuesday, Daniel Barry. How you doing today? The reason why the offense looked the way it looked, we have to attribute it to the offensive line. This is the first game all season that they've looked as good as they've looked. This is the first game all season that they've gotten the kind of push that they've gotten. This is the first game all season where Saquon Barkley has been able to hit his head on a goalpost from 60 yards out. Hell, 50 yards out, 40 yards out. I think his longest run before playing the Giants was like 18 yards, which, was unheard of last year. So it's good to see that we're trending in the right direction. I told y'all to be patient when it comes to KP in this offense. It takes time. He's a first time hit. He's a first time play caller. Uh, Even though he's been in the system, this is his first time with complete control over the offense. So he had to learn how to use the players the way that he wants. Offensive line play was putrid for the better part of 8 weeks until this game against the Giants. So now that we've gotten competent offensive line play, now that we've gotten competent play calling, kind of sorta, he's getting better. He is a whole lot better. Week 8 KP is way better than week 1 KP. And as long as that continues to be the case through the entirety of the season, then I'm good. I was talking to Dom off air about, the possibility, hey, if this thing works out and KP we can get to NFC championship or, the Super Bowl again with KP as the offensive coordinator, we got to keep him. We got to keep him because continuity is one of those things that keeps us behind the 8 ball the first month of the season. Every time we get a new play caller, he's got to learn how to implement his system. He's got to learn how to implement his players. He's got to get a feel for calling the NFL game because in most cases they're first time coordinators. But so we need somebody who was in the building the year before. We need somebody who's had success with this offense and with these players. So um, I know I'm getting a little ahead of my skis when I talk about playoff football in general because it's only October. But if you can kind of indulge me a little bit, just for a few minutes, like I said, if we are able to make it back to where we want to make it back to with Kevin Patullo, we got to keep him. It still is a lot uh, to be seen from Kevin Patullo, but all you can do is see progress. All you can hope for is that he gets better from week 1 to the end of the season, and it's been the case each and every week. So I have to give my game ball to the offensive line. Offensive line was stellar. And keep in mind, we did this without Cam Jurgens. Um, I think I don't remember if Landon Dickerson was banged up or not, because I do remember him playing in the game, but definitely was out Cam Jurgens. Toth went the whole way. Brett Toth went the whole way in this one. We were able to pull. We were able to, pick up the blitz for the most part. Hurts did get sacked 4 times, but the running game was clean. We were able to get to the second and third level, or get at least get Saquon to the second and third level multiple occasions. So it kind of was the first time where this offense actually looked like it did in 24, which, good signs. I definitely, see the progress. I see the growth. Defense is starting to come along even more. They kind of held us down in the beginning and even won us, maybe a handful of games until offense kind of got it together to put a few points on the board. But Nakobe Dean, he's back. He's been able to insert himself back in the starting rotation. And it's not that Jahad Campbell wasn't good, but I'd be lying if I said that I didn't see a different level or different gear when the Kobe Dean was in. The Kobe Dean just looks better, especially in the run defense. And that's not to say that Nakobe Dean is necessarily a better linebacker than Jahad Campbell. It's just he's more experienced. And after the year that Nakobe Dean had last year, it's where it seems like everything clicked, it all came together. He seemed to have picked up right where he left off. Doesn't really look like the injury has slowed him down at all. Still able to diagnose plays at a high level, come downhill, and disrupt. That's all you can ask for from a linebacker. Bond's still gonna give you what Bond's giving you. So it's really just a blessing and an embarrassment of riches to have so much talent that you can literally, and Jahad Campbell, come in and have a defensive rookie of the year type year and still end up, on some plays being on the sideline just because of how high of a level we are at the linebacker position. So it's a good problem to have. It's an embarrassment of riches. Um, it was another game where Nicole, Adoree Jackson or Keely Ringo wasn't really a issue. We were able to mask them on the back end. And how about the defensive line? We got 5 sacks, most sacks we've gotten all year long. And if you all remember, every year we start off slow when it comes to the pass rush, and then it's around this time where we get that one game where we go off for like 5, 6, 7, 8 sacks, and then we just don't look back after that. So when it comes to this game, hopefully we can get some momentum. The bye came at a a perfect time because Saquon got a little banged up. We went into it with no Cam Jurgens. He started the season off, banged up. Landon Dickerson has been banged up all year long. Um, AJ Brown, he didn't play this game, so it was good to get him some rest. Not Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. He's pretty much been banged up all year long with that shoulder. So this is going to be a great time for the players to get away from football, get away from their teammates, go enjoy their families, rest up, get their mind right. But what better way to enjoy a bye than not only being at the top of your division, but being at the top of the NFC? Now, are we solely at the top of the NFC? We are not, but we're in a pretty good spot. We boast the best record in the NFC. I think we share a 6-2 record with the Bucks, which we already have a head-to-head win over. Um, Green Bay Packers technically are number one in the NFC, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They had that weird tie that somehow has them ranked above us, even though we have more wins, but we also have more losses. So that's kind of weird. I got to check on that to be sure, but I know at one time that's exactly what it was. Yo,
You
what's going on with you?
ready to see these birds, ready for this bye week to go on through to see the birds, how we come back.
Hey man,
Ready to see how we come back.
we 6-2. We right where we said that we could be and would be an ideal situation to be 6-2 or better going into the bye. Give me your thoughts on the game. How you feel like things turned out? How it panned out?
Oh, the game went well. We got on them in the pass game. We got on them in the run game. Smitty got off. Um, the offense was free flowing. Now, I don't want to say it is or not a coincidence that AJ didn't play in the game look like that, but I also feel like when you ain't got to worry about trying to force feed somebody or trying to get a certain person some touches or certain routes or whatever, and you could just run your offense, then that's how it's gonna look. Now, I'm also not saying that's not how the that's I'm not saying that offense would look like that every time that AJ is not on the field. I'm just saying it's a difference um in mindset when certain people ain't on the field, especially when you know what I'm saying, people ain't getting along. But anyway, it was a good game. I hate what happened to Scatterboo. You never want to see nobody get injured. But outside of that, man, it was a good game. Like I said, we got off in the run game. Saquon did his thing. Bigsby did his thing. They a nice little 1-2 punch. I also think him and Dylan would be a nice 1-2 punch. We just really haven't got to see it yet, but we did see the offense, you know, starting to find their foot in the offensive. I think the difference in the game to me was the offensive line. The offensive line play. They were actually like not missing blocks and then not allowing guys to get in the backfield on pass plays in the run game. They would blocks they would miss or just not be in place for. They were in place for. We did play around with the formation a little bit more under center, which we've been doing the last couple weeks. Um, so I like that, which is another reason why I'm ready for us to come back off the bye week because I feel like we just gonna be able to play off of that so well. And usually, Sirianni and the rest of the crew they're able to do these things during the bye week. This is the perfect time for a bye week. We got a nice little sample size of games. We got wins and losses, so we kind of learning our personnel now. But I like what I seen out the run game and the pass game. Running backs can't wait for AJ Dillon to get back. That's a nice 3-headed monster we can have in the backfield and Hurts leg and arms. We could play off of that. Um, Goddard looked good. Dotson looked good. Which it's only one ball, but we definitely got to get Dotson more involved in the game, especially when AJ is on the field. You can uh have those three guys on the field or even got it with them as well, and that's another thing I think we need to do more of anyway is spread defenses out by spreading our offense out and not allowing them to be right there condensed in, and now we got to figure out nah, man, spread them out. We got the wide receivers, somebody gonna beat somebody, man. Just be creative. And you can do that out of a lot of different packages. So, um, uh, what else? Defense was looking pretty good. We didn't allow Dart. We allowed them a couple times to get out on you. This gonna happen a couple times, but you can't allow it to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? We really could tighten up even more than we did. But we got it on film now. Fangio gonna take care of that. We got Dean with 2 games under his belt. He only gonna get better from here on out. So he probably gonna be looking real good in that Green Bay game. The more he get to play beside Bond and what's my other dog name? The other
Talking
linebacker.
about Campbell.
Yes, the more he get to play beside them guys, he gonna get better. No, they always all three of them was on the field at certain points in the game. So,
Hmm.
um, I think the defense is gonna get better from here. The only thing is still to worry about is that cornerback two spot. No, I heard or saw somebody talking about dang they didn't they Keely Ringo ain't allowed no passes. Nah, they just ain't throw at Keely Ringo. I don't think it had nothing to do with he ain't allowed no passes. People gotta people gotta start paying attention to what they looking at. It's a difference between not allowing passes and they just didn't throw you away because they definitely, if they was being smart, they should have been targeting Keely Ringo. So now they got him out there looking like he was out there getting off, and nah, the Giants just I don't know what the hell they had going on because my game plan would have been to get Scatterboo going and we going after Keely Ringo if he out here on this field. And
Now
if he ain't out,
I don't know how much because I didn't look at the film, but it could have been a situation where maybe we shaded to his side and just let Q lock
right.
up on his side man to man. That could be a reason why.
Man, look, even if that was the case, he's still gonna F up. So I would still been watching. My first read is wherever Keely Ringo at every time, cause he gonna get if it's a stopping, he gonna bite too hard on he gonna leave a little bit of space. And if you looking for it, he gonna, you know what I'm saying? The safety ain't gonna be down far enough. Yeah, you over top, but hey, it's a little crease right here. So I think they just didn't take advantage of it. Now I do think they did do that as well though. Now was they doing it all the time? I don't know, but I know whenever it's a passing down, I'm not even looking on Quinion Mitchell's side. I'm going straight at. I'm going there. Only time I'm going to Quinion Mitchell's side is after we done rock him to sleep because we done win that doggone whatchamacallit so many Keely Ringo so
Ringo.
many times. But anyway, but the defense looked well though. I wasn't pissed off about no missed tackles because it's been as of late we've been missing tackles. Makuba, whatever. So he was making his tackles. We gonna get this thing together, man. Everybody getting the rest right now. Um, the game was good. I ain't really got no complaints about it. I just seen a lot of stuff we can build off of. And it's a game. Everything ain't gonna be perfect. I know it's a lot of times people be like, well, this and that. I already seen people pointing out stuff wrong. On the play that we hit got it for a touchdown, people talking about Smitty wide open. Bruh, I can't look on this side of the field and over there at the same time and see that Smitty open. Like all quarters, you know how many times somebody open and quarterbacks don't see? I finally seen them pointing that out for a couple other quarterbacks, but it wasn't like no one of the top guys. They be trying to say top four, but hell, they be doing the same thing. You're not gonna be able to see everybody who open on a given play. You got your reads and your progressions you got to go through, and whoever your number one and number two guy is, they usually gonna be the first two reads, but that's not gonna always be the case because a lot of times you might be sending them on a decoy to clear it out for somebody else. So every play they not gonna be the number one read. A lot of times they are, but they not every time. So I seen a lot of people complaining about that on the play that we scored a touchdown on. But anyway, um yeah, and I'm sure some more plays out there they was complaining about. But anyway, offense, defense look good. Special teams, and they ain't had no hiccups.
Hey, we might have found something with Gibson. This game
Yeah,
number 2.
yep. Gibson looking good, man. For me as a returner, I need you to just if they kicking the ball to you, hey, don't get us caught with inside the 20. I don't even need you to take one back to the crib. Just get the ball outside of the 20. I ain't really worried about nothing else after that. And whatever after that is like a cherry on top. Just
Mhm.
don't be back there, hey, playing with yourself. Get the ball past the 20. You don't care if you get it to the 21. Get it past the 20. Don't get caught back there asleep.
Mhm.
Um, but I do like Gibson though. It looked like right now we kind of find that everybody trying to, and then another thing that I like the fact that like certain guys coming in who wouldn't get, certain snaps or certain playing times, and they coming in showing like, hey, I can do this role, or I could, you know what I'm saying? Now, like with Bisbee coming in, now it's like, oh, now that we seeing Bisbee getting off, while they in the lab, they like, all right, now we know we can send Bisbee in and
Mhm.
he gonna be able to get off. We just gotta put him in the right situation. Now they seeing Jahan. Well, they already knew about Jahan Dotson. It ain't a lot of stuff they can do for Jahan Dotson early, other than maybe making play exactly for him. Because at
Mhm.
the end of the day, Hurts gonna be looking at AJ and Smitty.
Got to.
Um, at the end of the day, he gonna be, because that's just how Hurts is. He ain't really gonna he gonna look at them two guys, and if the offensive line ain't giving him enough time, he not even gonna make it to see Dotson the guy or whatever. So a lot of times, if they ain't one of the first two reads, um, Hurts ain't really getting the ball to you like that. He get it to them two guys, and then everybody else, you might get a ball or two a game. You better take advantage of it. Now, if something happen, you mess around to get a hot hand. Like I feel like if he had to threw that same pass to Dotson earlier in the game, Dotson probably would have got more catches, because that's just like how Hurts is. Matter of fact, AJ even mentioned that. He said whoever the hot hand is, pretty much Jalen gonna feed that person for the rest of the game.
And that's what
Um,
happened because Smitty was eating.
And yeah, Smitty was eating. I'm excited to see Smitty really for the rest of the season. He doing his thing right now. Hurts getting the ball to him, and this ain't nothing different than who Smitty been. Like, as a wide receiver, you can only do what you can do. Like, you at a dependent position, so he can't do nothing if Hurts ain't threw the ball to him. So people acting like Smitty is breaking out to show that he better than what they thought, or number one or whatever. But he been that, and we've been seeing that. He just haven't had the amount of targets to consistently, you know what I'm saying, show that with the, whether it be week to week or inside the game. But when his number being called, we always see Smitty deliver. Now, the one thing about Smitty is every now and then, what's crazy about Smitty is every now and then when he do drop a pass, he drop the easiest damn passes. It be like something nobody don't be on him. Like, bro, what you did? But if it's somebody on him, oh, he catching that every time. But it's deep pass or one hand, oh, he catching them. Every now and then he gonna drop an easy pass, and then he'll catch his next 50 passes. But yeah, it was a good game all around. I can't complain about it. I think the Giants was a, not only did they beat us, so we wanted to get some get back, but I think there was a, the last two games was like three. I mean, two good teams. What the hell I said three? But we had two good teams that they had good personnel, good on defense, whatever. Basically, a good competition for us to like get back on track. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like the Kansas City while they rolling, or the Bills or something while they rolling. We also trying to get back on track, which we probably would have beaten them anyway. But um, I think the last two games was a perfect setup to go into the bye week, especially how we handle business in them two games, and coming off two losses. So
Clutch. Clutch. So with that being said, who you giving your game balls to today?
game ball. Man, I should have thought about this. Let me see. Game ball defense. I usually go defense and offense. So on defense, let me think. We had who got an interception? Did we have two interceptions?
And we ain't
We
had
had
no
one.
interception.
We ain't had no interceptions. I might be thinking about the Vikings game. Let me see. We ain't had no turnovers.
Let me see. We got 4 sacks. Nah, we didn't get no fumbles or interceptions, no
All
turnovers.
right, let me see.
Defense just played efficient.
Played defense, played solid. So let me come back to the defense. But right now on offense, I'm gonna go. Let me see. We had Jahan Dotson with a dagger. Hurst was cooking. Saquon was cooking. You know what? This is my first time saying this, but I had to get the game ball on offense to the offensive line, because I feel
Got
like
to. Got to.
I feel like they was the engine that made that whole thing go. It was
Mm-hmm.
like, even though we seen Saquon get off, it was because of the offensive line, which was the reason why he wasn't getting off.
Mm-hmm.
Same old Saquon. The difference was the offensive line. Oh, this is something that I was about to say earlier when I was talking about the offensive line. I meant to add Kevin Patullo in there. Shout out to Kevin Patullo for the play calling, because not only did they execute the plays he was calling, but he was mixing it up. I like the way he was mixing it up. Shotgun, under center, run pass. He kind of it was That was a balanced game, man. That was one of the most balanced games. Shoot, I feel like we played in a few seasons.
Hmm.
Um, so shout out to Kevin Batullo for the play calling, and shout out for to Kevin Matullo for the growth and progression. I've been saying the whole time, like, man, we gotta give him to at least after the bye week, man. We already knew what this was. See, when we say, it's gonna be some growing pains, people got a limit and a ceiling on the
How
growing.
much
Like,
pain?
dang,
How much pain?
dang, boy, it's all we already had a game. We played Dallas, like, dang, how much growing you need, Kevin? Like, you know what I'm saying? They ready to get rid of the dude. I never was like, nah, I did say we don't need to hire no more first time offensive coordinators, but I don't like to throw somebody away or throw them under the bus or whatever until you gotta give people a chance. Like, they human, just like imagine you at your job and they like, you ain't get it the first day, bro. We gonna have to
Mhm.
let you go. Like, nah, you gotta
They
get.
gave you 8 weeks to master it.
Yeah, and not only did they give you, not only that, let's say they brought you in there and gave you the most money you ever made in your life. That's not gonna make people act like however much you pay somebody, that change how quick or how professional they. No, that ain't gonna do nothing more. It's not gonna make you better. It's not gonna make you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It ain't gonna curve the timeline. Hey, they give him $100 million. He should be. Nah, it don't work like that.
Hmm.
But and I feel like a lot of people just say that because they hear other people say it. They don't even got no real reason for saying it. They just feel like it's a thing that people always say. So yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be saying right here, instead of just like using their own brain and having some common sense. But um shout out to Kevin Patullo. But for the offense, I'm gonna have to go offensive line because they really just like was the reason why everything was going. They gave Hurts time in the pocket. Now he did get sacked a few times. A couple of those Hurts, hey, you just got to get the ball out your hand, my boy. You ain't gonna be able to make something happen every single time, especially not running backwards. And the only reason why I ain't tripping off of that run, I'm tripping off of it, but I ain't tripping off of it because, bro, you should have got rid of the ball right there. You done did too much. But the reason why I'm not tripping off of it is not because we got the first down either. It's because of the Tains Bisbee, the way he ran that ball right there. Like, he could have ran that same, what it was, 31 yards. He got 34. Man, he could have ran for doggone 30 and not got the first down. I would have been like, hey, I'm glad that, you know what I'm saying? We could have not even got a first down right there, and I still would have said the same thing. Especially if he had a ran a good bit of yards and ran how he ran. So um, that's the only reason why I'm tripping and not tripping all that. But I'll get to the offensive line, and then on defense, um, I don't really got nobody on defense. But I will say this about the defense. It was like you say, it was a group effort. Um, Trying to think if I remember anything standing out on defense. Nah. Shout out to Makuba for he was kind of flying around back there making some stuff happen. Quinion was holding it down. Everybody was kind of holding it down. Defensive line, like because I also said this before the game. I said the game will be won in the trenches on both sides of the ball. It was gonna come down to that. Defensive line had a solid performance. They kind of kept Makuba in the pocket. So if anything, it would go to the defensive line. But they kept Makuba in the pocket. They got some sacks.
Dart.
I mean, they kept Dart in the pocket. They got some sacks. He like I said, he did get free a few times, but nothing crazy that was like back breaking and nothing like that. So I would say shout out to the offensive line and defensive line in this game, man. They
Hey,
kind of.
this might be that game. We got 5 sacks. Every year we start off slow and it be a game where all of a sudden it just start clicking.
You know what I'm about to call this? It's the game that turned the tide. The game that turned the tide. Yeah, it's the game that turned the tide.
But now,
Yeah.
if I had to pick somebody defensively, it'd probably be N'Kobe Dean just for one, still getting his feet wet. But like he like solidifying himself back into the starting
Mm-hmm.
lineup. He like
Mm-hmm.
one of them players that you can't keep off the
Take off the
field.
field.
Yeah, not only I mean, it's not that Jahad Campbell ain't been clutch for us. It's just it's a different level when he
Yeah,
on the field. And even if you got to figure out a way to have all three of them on the field, you got to do it just because Dean just been that good since he been back.
for sure. He definitely have. Like he see that he boy in the run game. Now he's still getting his legs back a little bit in the pass game and the spidey senses and all that. But in the run game, man, the whole monitor. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Ain't no running in the halls, baby. So he for real, like soon as the gap open, he think you coming through there, he hitting it. Now he did miss like 2 tackles yesterday, but he got back there, slowed him down. But hey, he getting his feet back on. You got to wrap up, my boy, get him down. But you can tell he like in them same positions. We probably went to seeing Campbell there and not that fast.
Not
Even
that
if he was,
fast.
yeah, then he coming down hill fast.
Read and react.
But yeah, and we know how Dean do. He usually once he get there, he usually get you down. So he's still getting back right.
Hmm.
I think he'll be good for that game. I almost had said Dean. I thought about him a little bit, but I was like, nah, he kind of had a similar performance to me in that Vikings game. They basically just stopping the run game, but there was a key component to it. The defensive line kind of opened it up. Um, Kind of kept him clean so he could get in there and do what he did. So shout out to N'Kobe Dean, man. Just a good performance, man. Now we do know that was the Giants. I know a lot of people thinking about that's the Giants, man. Look, we had to get our get back, man, and we got it in great fashion. I always hate when teams get them last minute touchdowns to make the game look closer than it
Hmm.
was. It was 38-13, man. We put foots in them boys.
Hmm.
Exactly how this is the game that y'all wanted to see the first game, which I knew wasn't gonna happen. One, not on no short week. Um, I knew that wasn't gonna happen. I just didn't have that feeling for that game. I knew it was going. I thought we probably would win. I knew we could lose. I was like, we'll probably win and probably in a close game. But a lot of people feel like we should blow the Giants out all the time. Now, I don't know if y'all know. I'm not saying that this necessarily has anything to do with it because it's always a new game. But the Giants always play us tough. Like everybody in this division always play us tough. We usually go down to the wire with everybody in this division. Now, every now and then
The
um
Giants.
we might blow out the Giants. Every now and then, it's been a minute, but every now and then we might blow out the Washington, but it's been a minute. Um, but for the most part, we go down to the wire with all these teams. Even when we had Carson Wentz, man, I remember we was down like what 14-21 in that one game. That's when Deshaun Jackson came back and him and Wentz got us back in the game. Two deep balls.
Hmm.
Um, and matter of fact, I think they followed it up again, and it was another game we was down just like that, and we came back. But the everybody in this division always play us tough. It's the division rivalries, man. Family business. Uh, but so I knew that first game was gonna be close. This game, I didn't know if it would be close or not, but I knew we was gonna win. What we was in them Kelly Greens. You know how we do on the Kelly Green. I knew we was in them Kelly Greens, and I knew we was one feeling good off that Vikings win. And one thing I knew also about the Giants was, which is why I wanted them to lose that game to Denver because they not like a really good team where like dang I don't want to catch them coming off a L. I knew they were riding that momentum. I was like, nah, if they can go ahead and lose to the Broncos, now that doubt started to creep back in your head. Damn, we might not be as good. And then if we can start getting on them early in the game, even more doubt. It's like, but if they coming off that Broncos win, they still riding that momentum. Like, damn, we can go ahead and we just beat the Eagles, beat the Broncos. We gonna go in here and beat them again. Nah, we probably still would have won anyway, but they would have came out with more intensity. But now since they had that heart, and then the way they lost to the Broncos too, I think that took a little bit out of them as well. But had they came in here and beat us, boy, they would have been riding the real high for real. I don't know who they got to play next, but it would have been a tough game for whoever that was. But now that they done probably came back down to earth, losing in dramatic fashion to the Broncos, getting the L this week. You know what I'm saying? They back to square one.
Undefeated in the Kelly Green. Shout out to Dreamer. Yeah, man. We do some amazing things in Kelly. Every time, especially Jahan. This the second game that Jahan and did something spectacular. This the second game that Saquon and then did something spectacular in the Kellys. No, he didn't jump over nobody this time, but he hit his head on the goalpost from a long ways away, and that
which
was
he
the
hadn't done all season.
all season long. That was encouraging for us to still be able to look anything like we did last year, especially considering the fact that his long leading up to this game was 18 yards. So uh shout out to the offensive line because we didn't have Cam Jurgens. Hopefully he can go ahead and rest up and be full go for the Green Bay game when we come about this bye. But we'll talk
Hey,
about
shout
that.
out to Brett Toth, man, holding it
Yeah,
down.
man. Toph
Especially
came
bouncing
through.
back from the other game. The other game he kind of was they was kind of get on him a little bit, but well, I
I
think it
mean,
was what
the whole offensive line really been just
yeah,
having a
stepped up.
tough go at it this year.
And them
So
10
this
days off helped us
the
after that
10
Thursday
days
night.
off helped us. What also helped us was I do like the package where we bring in Big Fred as a tight end and let him do his thing. So that could be a wrinkle that we added over the 10-day period as well.
Yeah, hey,
It's
man. Especially man, when you got an extra lineman on the field, especially somebody like Fred, hey,
Man, yeah, Fred. I mean, he been one of them solid pieces. So shout out to Howie for bringing him back because I really never wanted him to go. He was one of them ones where we was like, that one hurt. Him, obviously, Rogers, and it was another one. Me personally, I didn't want
Makai
Makai
Becton.
Becton to go
I
either.
already knew what you was about to say.
Yeah, that was that was the one where I was like, I mean, Steen, I believe in him, but damn, I ain't know what he could do. Let's see, Kevin Patullo still isn't that good. He getting better, but he just needs to listen to the players.
And we
Yeah,
kind of
I
talked
mean,
about that.
yeah. So I mean, he is getting better though. That's all you can hope for at this point, because I mean, it kind of is what it is. It's not like we would get significantly better if we fired him. So might as well see what he got. The question that you need to ask yourself is week 8 KP better than week 1 KP? And if you can always answer that with a yes, we in a good spot. We seen what he did off a mini buy. Let's see what he can do with a full buy where we can go ahead and self scout, get healthy, and get some pieces back. Because when we come off this buy, you looking at getting back Nolan. We getting back Cam Jurgens. We'll have a healthier Landon Dickerson. We getting
AJ Dillon,
AJ
Corey and
Dillon
Bennett.
back, Corey and Bennett back, AJ Brown back. So we gonna be something to deal with coming off this bye. If everything goes according to plan. And it will be a couple more weeks into what our offense should look like. Now, even you said this before too. Coming out of the bye, I wouldn't suspect us to look like a final product. I say probably by the end of the Lions game, heading into the Lions game, by the end of the Lions game, we'll know what we have, good, bad, or ugly. Either we gon' whatever we put on the field, I think that's pretty much what's gonna be the case for the rest of the year. Unless it's like some kind of crazy injury that happened. But if we can stay healthy, whatever we look like after those 2 games, it kind of is what it is. I don't think we're gonna get too much better than that. Definitely don't see us getting any worse than whatever that is. So that's the game plan to come out of the bye healthy, hitting on 80 to 90% of our cylinders, and we'll see what we got.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't have said it better myself. Like I said, we already kind of had hit on Kevin Patullo. Like I said, we already knew going into the season he was a first time offensive coordinator. I also said we don't need to hire no more first time offensive coordinators. But like you said, this is what we got right now. So we gotta make the best out of this or whatever. So and then we only seen Kevin Patullo get better, especially these last couple weeks. So I knew we knew coming into the season it was gonna be some growing pains. Like I'm not gonna put a limit on how long he got to grow. Like as he been growing. So um, as we come out of this bye week, we'll see what he get together. Now we probably won't get significantly better, but man, by the time we get there, like the next couple games coming out the bye, like you said, we should see what pretty much what we gonna be. But also going down the stretch, if we win those games and we going into the playoffs, if y'all remember last year, Kellen Moore didn't really started getting his bag into the playoffs is when I feel like he started really calling great games. Um,
We didn't
I,
really look great on offense all year long,
yeah, we really kind of
outside
just
of Saquon.
yeah, Saquon was getting off and we was doing our thing here and there in the pass game, but even people was talking about the routes that the concepts from the routes last year. Man,
Mm.
Kellen Moore got to change some of these routes. There was too many people in this area of the field. Blah blah this and that. Whatever, man. Look, we got to see how this offense gonna grow. I ain't we can't put it all on Kevin Patullo. Like what I saw from this last game. And then Kevin, his only thing is like between the 20s when he get in the red zone, he be calling hella plays, like stuff we ain't even seen us ever do in
Mhm.
the red zone. He be calling, and it be working. So he
Mhm.
got the red zone down pat. It seems. So we got to figure out how to get to the red zone in between the 20s, which it seems like we've been building on. So right now, I don't really got nothing crazy to say about Kevin Patullo until I see how he look. Um, After these next few games, because it ain't like we're gonna come straight off the bye week and be like the best things. Nah, they seeing what's been going wrong, they fixing it. Now you got the Green Bay game to see what you done fixed and what you didn't fix with the bye week, and then boom, by that Lions game, we should kind of see what we got. And then especially going into the next two games, I think we got Dallas and probably like Chicago or something like that. Um so somewhere around in there, we'll see what we really working with, and how we really feel. Well, how I really feel about Kevin. I know some of y'all already made y'all mind up, but I
Mm.
don't like to be one of them people because like last year, y'all was talking about killing more, blah, and then at the end of the season, playoffs and the Super Bowl, killing more. Y'all was ready for killing more to come back. After y'all talked all this, see, I don't like to do that. I don't like to ride the emotional wave. This was a good game. I love them. This was a bad game. I hate them. Nah, let people, you know what I'm saying? People got to develop in every role, whatever it is, coaching, players, staff, whatever. So when I'm off somebody, I'm off them, but I don't like to just throw them away because they had a bad game, one bad game or a couple bad games, especially when I know we already knew going into it was going to, some growth was going to have to be involved. Y'all give somebody, all right, we got a new offensive coordinator. We're going to give them 1 week. If it don't look how it's supposed to look, then y'all off for them. Nah, I don't work like that. I don't operate like that.
The Vikings game was on the players. This game against the Giants, he had more input, and putting Jalen under center has been
Bruh.
his best improvement. Man, we said it already though. The
The Vikings
biggest difference,
game, you don't know who it was on.
but the biggest difference is the offensive line, hands down.
The offense,
Because
yep.
even when KP wasn't calling his best games, he was still it was still some plays in there that if they was blocked up right, they was either gonna hit for a big play or at least convert for a first down. So this was the first game where majority of the plays had a chance to work. And then once you give yourself a chance for your plays to work, then hey, it's all up to execution. But
And then the Vikings thing is being on. Yeah, y'all got to stop this talking like y'all was in the locker room and y'all know. Like they had the one play to Smitty when they say Smitty called his shot. Nah,
yeah,
the whole game was on bruh. Kevin Patullo had something to do with that too, right? They wasn't just out there calling their own plays out the
yeah.
whole game. The formations, everything. Like he had the same under center stuff that was looking great in the Vikings game. They implemented some more of that in the Giants game. Like we gotta stop the acting like we in the locker room and we know exactly what's going on. They had the media put out the one play with Smitty called his shot. He kept on telling us, and people feel like the players had won the whole. Man, stop.
It's trial and error, man. It's trial and error with a lot of this stuff. They implement a plan at the beginning of the week. They work on it. They get in the game. They see a certain look, and hopefully, that look that you see, you able to execute once you get that look. So shout out to Smitty, shout out to KP, shout out the whole offense for figuring it out.
And that's what the players supposed to do. The coaches are
Mhm,
not on the field. They not gonna see everything, which is I think one reason why Fangio like being up in the box. He can see exactly what the offense doing, how they lining up. When you on the field, I might not necessarily can see they keep bringing that safety down over there. But if my players
mhm,
communicate with me and be like, hey, every time we got in this formation, they bringing the safety down. I think we should run that play. It's on me to call it when I think it's ready or whatever. Which
mhm.
is what our players supposed to do. They supposed to go relate to the coaches. Hey, this is what we seeing out there. Blah blah blah. What's going on? That's why the wide receivers go get with the quarterback. Hey, bro, what you seeing on that play? Yeah. Next time they do that. Hey, look, I know what play might be called. We gonna do this though. You know what I'm saying? That's how the offense supposed to communicate. The players supposed to communicate with each other, and they supposed to communicate with the coaches.
Wasn't just that.
Y'all already hate Kevin Patullo. So any little thing, y'all gonna be like, yeah, that way Kevin. But y'all don't even want to give bro no credit when it's some credit due.
Wasn't just that first touchdown was broken play. Smitty, the only one I know was KP was Sluggo to solidify the game. I don't know. Like Don said, we wasn't there. It we know for a fact that Smitty called that one play, but we don't what we don't have any idea about is how much of an impact or how much input was given from the rest of the players. Things are working out though. And to be honest, it don't even matter. Even if it was all the players, obviously it worked. So as long as we continue to do what works, I don't care who
I
got
mean,
the
as
got the
long as we
input.
winning, I don't care if it's Nick, Kevin, Patullo, Kevin. I don't care who it is. Just get out there and win the game. Like,
Hey, but
and,
hey though,
and on that broken play that you talking about, that's what they supposed to do. If I'm back here scrambling, y'all run and get open. Just like Hurts when he told AJ to keep going down the field. Hey, bro, you on the hey, go down the field. I'm gonna put it on you. That's what they were supposed to
hmm
do, regardless of what play called. And that happened with every team around the league.
hmm hey, but
Scramble drill.
it's time to talk Hurts when we get back from this
Man,
commercial break. Introducing Black Diamond Concentrate from Diamond Collection, a premium mineral supplement crafted to elevate your hydration experience. Formulated with no dyes, sweeteners, or artificial flavors, Black Diamond Concentrate is 100% natural. Just 2 dropfuls added to a 16.9-ounce bottle of water can transform the way you hydrate. Order today at poweredbytnb.com and use code DSP at checkout to receive a 20% discount. That's code DSP. All right, let's get back to the show.
hey, this what I asked
Welcome in and welcome back.
before we go into the hurt situation. This is all I asked y'all to do, man. And this is something I noticed, this is something I noticed with myself, and I stopped doing it. I don't know how long ago I stopped doing it, but I stopped doing it. So as you watching football, regardless of what age you is, when we grow up watching football, and a lot of times we was watching ESPN, we was watching the media and all this stuff, and you grow up and you listen to other people around you who grew up doing the same thing. We watch the game and know the game through
A
the
lens.
eyes of certain narratives and the media and stuff like that. So we only see the game that way. It's very few people that able to form their own opinion. So every time something happen, we just go to that one thing or whatever. So we got to start getting in the habit where we actually know what we watching and being able to think for ourselves. Because a lot of times I can just tell how people talking. They just thought like that's a thought process you seeing the game through or whatever, and you automatically just throw that out there. Whatever, like a lot of people don't see the game with their own eyes or their own thinking. You just throw out certain narratives that's how we watch the game through we know the game through the media. We know the game through talking to our parents or whoever, and that's the only way we see the game. And that's one reason why we really kind of created this channel. We was tired of all the other channels riding the same old narratives and riding the emotional roller coasters every
Crying.
time. Not basically crying every time something happen. That's why a lot of people like going to the other channels because they doing all this the same crying you doing. They doing on their channel. So now you over there, y'all all bandwagon and crying. Man, Hurts missed the throw, bruh. We ain't doing that over here because we using a little bit more logic and a little bit more common sense in our own thought process. And that's really one of the main reasons why we created a channel. We just got tired of it. There's like somebody came in here talking about well, this is what Eagles fans do. I'm over here watching Philly 500, man. That's why we ain't. Hey, nothing. I love Philly 500, but he be crying too much for me. That's why I
Mhm.
created this shit. I got tired of seeing people crying,
Mhm.
but I still love him though. I watch his videos all the time, but I'm just saying, like sometimes you just get tired of it. Like, dang, bro, like, dang, come on, let me let you. Sometimes you got to just create your own channel and get your own thoughts out there. That's really all I'm saying. You sometimes you just got to get your own thoughts out there.
Mhm. It's free. It's free to spit your thoughts. But man, we gotta talk about Hurt. So obviously, last week in Minnesota, he had, the big time game where he went for 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, perfect passer rating, literally 158.3, highest passer rating you can get. Then he follows it up by coming home against the team who we got bullied. We literally got bullied 2 weeks
Two
ago
weeks ago.
in the Giants. Follows that up with 179 yards, another 4 touchdowns, no picks, 141.5 passer rating. Now we are at the point of the season where he got 15 passing touchdowns, one pick, 1,600 yards, and another 5 on the ground. Just give me your thoughts on what Hurts has been able to do this year with yet another OC.
Man, in the off season, we already told y'all. We looking at how we see Jalen Hurts. When you talking about quarterbacks in the league, we putting them at two. And we really want to put him at one, but he ain't got all the hardware and all the games to really kind of solidify that. But in our minds, he's like, bro, really kind of like number one. But you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? We're gonna keep it at number two because you know what I'm
For
saying,
now.
we don't want to sound too crazy. We're gonna wait till he go in our heads. It's like sometimes when you know something, but it ain't happened yet, you kind of know it before everybody else. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? But now you just gotta put him where he actually at. He really had two, but in our head, we was like, he gonna be one eventually. You know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done. But anyway, the last 2 weeks hurt. I mean, Jalen just doing Jalen things. We already know Jalen can do this. I personally feel like if he still was with a Shane Steichen, you know what I'm saying, somebody who was great at calling plays, especially calling plays for Jalen. You know what I'm saying? Great at calling for quarterbacks or for quarterbacks who can do what he asking them to do in the personnel. If he was still with a person like Shane Steichen, he probably would have got like at least two MVPs by now, which we know he really would have had one the season that he was gonna win MVP. He came out of those games early because we was blowing everybody out. He came out of
Got
those
hurt.
games early. He came out of those games early, and then towards the end of the season, he missed like 2 3 games because he got hurt. So of course, all of these things combined hurt, his chance for MVP. He probably still should have got it. But anyway, we already know what Hurts is, man. People just going back to riding the emotional roller coaster. People think if they don't see him throwing for a certain amount of yards or a certain amount of touchdowns or whatever week in and week out that he can't do these things or whatever. But he has always shown you when he needs to do it, he do it. I think a lot of times, um, we not seeing him consistently throw the ball because basically because of the offense we run. Like I said, we had a Shane Steichen, somebody who was going, and then I feel like with Shane, we was always balanced. We always had a nice run game, and we also had a nice pass game. But ever since then, we've been kind of like either run heavy or two pass heavy. So when you got I feel like when you got because when you a quarterback, a lot of success that you have is based off of certain things around you. Is whether it's the players, is the coaching, stuff like that. But Jalen Hurts right now, man, he in that MVP conversation. He in the MVP conversation so far. Now, am I saying he number one? No, but he in the conversation for it. Now, if he keep doing what he doing, we got to see what everybody else doing around the league. There's a lot of people in that conversation. Even though the Cowboys got a bad record right now. That was in that conversation. The last game kind of played him out. But if he was to go on the run, he'll be right back in it. You got Jonathan Taylor doing his thing. You got Daniel Jones. So it's a lot of people in that conversation right now. Mahomes kind of worked his way back into it. Um, but I do think Jalen Hurts is in that conversation. And like I said, Jalen is the same Jalen that if you really been paying attention to Jalen and you really just like an Eagles fan, and you've been watching the games more than other people, this ain't it really ain't nothing Jalen can do to surprise me or change my mind about him. I already know what he is. Like I'm not riding no emotional roller coaster. And like I said, I watch the game and know the game with my own eyes. So when I don't see Jalen do certain things, I know a lot of times there's other factors involved. And when it's not other factors involved, I know that everybody is human. He's not gonna see every read. He not gonna make every throw. He not gonna throw the ball away every time. He not gonna not always take the sacks or whatever. This is stuff that all quarterbacks go through. People try to make a lot of stuff specific to Jalen Hurts, and it's just not true because they trying to keep these certain narratives on him for whatever reason because they don't like him or they don't like the Eagles or they had a certain mindset about him previously, so they want to stick with they take or whatever. And sometimes people just can't get off of how they once saw you. It's just like when you grow up in a certain town and you was a certain way growing up, people gonna always see you through that lens. Oh, I went to school. I know DP. I
Little
went to school.
little boo
Bro,
boo.
I'm not that 18-year-old, whoever that bro, I'm 30, 40, however the person is. Like, bro, you talking about me when I was in high school? Bro, come on, I ain't even that same. I'm saying that's how people treat Jalen, like he's still in college.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They treat him like he just got benched by Tua last
Yeah.
year.
And we ain't seen Tua or Mac Jones do nothing better than
Since.
Hurt since they been in the league. Get out of
Mm-mm.
here. Tua on his way to a new team and Mac Jones a backup in San Fran. And he neither one of them on the same team. Well, Tua on the same team, but he not Matt Jones not on the same. A lot of them dudes not on the same team they started on.
Mm-mm. Let me see. Dreamer says, why do you think Jalen doesn't get as much leeway like some characters like Josh, Lamar, Joe? It's like Jalen got to work 20 times harder, and all they say is that's what he's supposed to do. Yeah, I mean, it's just the gift and the curse. We talked about it once before. Well, I think it really just comes down to like where he got drafted. Him being part of what you said, where like they can't get past like how he got to the NFL. He got
Hmm.
drafted in the second round. All those other
Hmm.
guys are first round talents, which is w- pretty consistent with how the media treats quarterbacks. They put those first round guys on the pedestal. Now, even
Hmm.
if they don't pan out, they keep them on that pedestal as long as they can until it's no doubt that they ain't what they say they are. Prime example is players like Trevor Lawrence. You got your players like Justin Herbert. Um, it's a few more out there that they want to put Caleb. But nah, we can't put Caleb in there. He's still too young. We still got to see what it is. But compared to the hype he had like coming into the league, he hasn't panned out to that
They
yet.
gonna
That's
basically
fair to
treat
say.
him like Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, they're gonna treat him like Trevor Lawrence until they don't have no reason but to say otherwise. But Hurts just ain't one of them guys. If Hurts had been drafted in the top 10, completely different narrative. If he had been drafted in the first round, completely different narrative. But because of his past and what happened in college combined with where he was drafted, that's why he gets a hard time. And he played for Philly.
I was just about to say that.
That's underrated too. Like no matter what, it's a certain part of the fan base and media that knows for sure that if they say something negative about Philly, Philly fans gonna flock, which means ratings, which means your show gonna boom. So it's just really all about staying relevant, and they know how to,
Politics.
yeah, they know how to get in the algorithm and politics. So really
Politics
for
is
Hurts,
legal.
it's really just unlucky for Hurts, because I mean a lot of what happened to him in his past ain't necessarily like his fault, but we here now, and even with all the scrutiny, even with all the pressure, he still was able to become a Super Bowl MVP. He was able to be an all pro. He was able to be in the running for a regular season MVP. So he's done all the things that they want their guy to do. And that's what keeps pushing the hate, is because
Yeah.
he doing it. He doing what they said that the other guys would do, and he beating them other guys. And this ain't even his final form.
And they don't like his style of play too. So it's like, dang, not only is he beating my favorite quarterback and doing things my favorite quarterback hasn't done yet. It's like, dang, he ain't even playing the game how they play the game. Like he ain't
Mhm.
even got like, dang. That's why Cam Newton keep trying to make that excuse about, well, he ain't asked what them other quarterbacks asked to do. First off, that ain't his problem. I ain't got nothing to do with how your team built over there and what they asking you to do. I'm doing which, if and this is another thing, like I've been saying this for a long time, way before we created this channel or anything. Like when you got players, you build your team around your players' strength and weaknesses, regardless of how good they can do whatever. You build your team and scheme your teams around your strengths and weaknesses. And that's what a lot of them other teams don't get. It's a lot of times I've been watching the Ravens. I'm like, dang, Lamar throwing the ball too much. Can he throw the ball? Yeah, but what the hell, you got Derrick Henry on the sideline.
Hand it off. Or
Hand it
take
off
off
to Derrick
yourself.
Henry. If that's what I'm saying. People keep talking about, well, Lamar was on the no, and Jalen Hurts, also another thing that set Jalen apart is his mindset in big moments. You see a lot of them other guys, this game on the line, they throwing interceptions, they fumbling the ball. You don't really see Jalen do that, especially not in the playoffs or in the biggest moments. You don't see Jalen do that, and if he do it, it don't be often. Like he threw that pick in the Giants. That's his first time throwing a interception in a minute. Like we ain't
all
really,
season.
yeah. I'm saying between all season, last season,
Mhm.
can't tell you the last time I seen Jalen throw a pick. But um, like you said, they just it's a certain narratives, who he played for, all of these things or whatever. Like you build your team and ask them guys what to do based on our team. I'm not we shouldn't be looking at the Ravens. All right, we should be playing like this because this is what the Ravens asking Lamar to do. No, that's a whole different team. Everybody got different skill sets, different coaching scheme. No, you build your team and win how you need to win with your team. And at the end of the day, that's the whole objective is to win, which is a lot why a lot of these other teams don't win. They trying to win a certain way. Yeah, we gonna win off the arm of Justin Herbert. Nah, Justin Herbert need him a good running back over there because he be throwing that ball any type of way in the dirt, too high to the other team. Run the
Hey,
ball.
so they the thing that they love to say, that they favorite hypothetical is, you put X, Y, and Z over here in Philly, they had 4 and 5 Super Bowls. Well, my counter argument to that is, if you put Hurts on their team, they would already have a Super Bowl ring.
For
Because
sure.
what happened when Herbert was asked to play like Hurts? He folded. What happened when Josh Allen was asked to play like Hurts? He folded. Same thing with Lamar. So I mean, in my opinion, you put Hurts
Man.
on some of these teams that quote unquote are lesser. I mean, and
You put
I'm not gonna sit here and say that every team got a Smitty or every team got an AJ or every team got a Saquon. But if these guys are who you say they are, it don't matter. It shouldn't.
That's how they make it seem. Well, they carrying the team. We ain't seen them carry the team nowhere. Where they carried them to? They ain't get no Super Bowl. Where they
Right.
carried them to? Talking about they carried them. Then I hate doing the hypothetical thing, especially when they trying to put somebody on the Eagles. But if you want to be real, you put you put Jalen Hurts on that Bills team last year. They beat Kansas City. They beat Kansas City in the playoff if Jalen Hurts is the quarterback on that team. You put Jalen Hurts on the 2022 Ravens. They beat Kansas City. You put him on the yeah 22 Ravens and 23 Ravens,
Hmm.
but nobody ain't talking about that.
Hey, it's a vicious cycle, but like you said, we know what we got under center, man. And he just, I,
What make it so sad is a lot of Eagles fans don't even know. They right. We need to put Tanner McKee in. Tanner McKee, you just seen this man go to two Super Bowls and MVP in both of them basically, and you want to put Tanner McKee? That's why we got our own channel because we don't want to
mhm,
hear that crap from other people. We come over here and tell y'all the straight facts, the
the
hard
real.
truth. The real. And this ain't even there ain't no bias in this. Cause if Hurts was trash, I'd be over here saying, man, we need to put Tanner McKee in, bro.
Hmm. Facts though. Nah. But he all Hurts gotta do is keep on doing what he doing. Even if he don't get the recognition from the media and the outsiders, that's cool. As long as we able to put ourselves in a position to compete for championships, that's really all that matter at the end of the day. That's what he been doing. He been getting all the scrutiny this whole time. So we talking about he done been to 2 Super Bowls. Um, got he the quarterback of one of the best teams in the NFL for the better part of 5 years, 4 to 5 years. So as long as that remains true, he gonna put himself in a good position to
And they
add
keep
some more hardware.
you know what I don't like? I don't really mind. Like I'm kind of just used to the Jalen Hurts stuff now at this point. But the only thing that really grinds my gears is how they say one thing. They talk about Jalen, and then right after they talk about him, they be like, well, if he can do this, hey, I put him in this category, or I say he this. He go do it. They move the goalpost. All right, if he do this in the playoffs, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and say he this and that. I was wrong, blah blah blah. Soon as he do it, move the goalpost. He did that. Dang, I gotta put something else up. I really ain't because they whole intention. They really don't think he gonna do it.
Hmm.
And a lot of times, I don't necessarily think that they think it's not that he can't do it, but it's the NFL. So a lot of times this stuff is like bound to night. Now it's so hard to do, regardless of who you
Right.
are, because as much as they saying Jalen can't do something, they favorite quarterback ain't. We probably never see Jalen go to a Super Bowl because they know it's hard to get to a Super Bowl. So they
Hmm.
try to put a hard to attain goal out there. Yeah, he even though he probably can't get to a Super Bowl, we just gonna say this, and then now I can keep talking my talk because it's gonna be hard for him to get there. Dang, he got there. Now I gotta say he gotta perform like this in the. Dang, he did that. Now I gotta say he got to do two of them because you know what I'm saying.
He
They
got
just
he got carried.
yeah, it's like stuff that's they feel like is hard to do. So it's like, all right, even though he probably can do these things, it's the NFL, so it's bound for something to go wrong for him not to attain it. Even if it ain't his fault, I can make it. I can spin the narrative that it ain't his fault. And Jalen just keep knocking them things down. And it's like
Hmm.
they gonna continue not to give him credit. That's why like I ain't even tripping off of it no more. Cause I done seen too many people either continue to move the goalposts or they finally give him credit and then a couple weeks go by and
Take it back.
act like yeah they act like they forgot they said that and they take it back and just well I don't think Jalen bro you just said Jalen was top three top five now damn the season ain't even started yet now he ain't top 10 like when you see people doing that, and that's how I figured out. I ain't gonna say that's how I figured out, but because I already had been saying it, but that's one of the reasons that kind of like over solidified to me that a lot of people just say stuff about the Eagles because they trying to get their
For click.
ratings up. Yeah, they trying to get their ratings up. So now, like now, a lot of times when I see stuff, I be like, yeah, they know what Eagles fans gonna come over there and be on their content, and they can get their ratings and stuff up. Even like with Drew Brees, when Drew Brees tried to talk about the offense, I ain't seen Brees lately in the media like that. So now that he popping up on this show, it's like, what can I say for them to be? You know what I'm saying? Maybe he getting ready to drop some or just drop some, or he just trying to make his way back into the media or whatever. So it's like, all right, how can I get my name up? How can I get everybody talking about me? Well, if I say something negative about Philly, I'm sure they probably have meetings about this stuff. When we
Hmm.
get ready to go on this Eagle segment, you know, if you say something about Philly, whatever, I'm saying that's how you can
They
get
coming.
yeah,
They
they coming
coming.
or whatever. They talk about this stuff. So behind the scenes, this people already know. Look, bro, if you trying to You trying to get your name up in the media space. Hey, Philadelphia is one of the easiest ways to do it. Philly,
Mhm.
say something negative about Philly. It's the same way if you say something negative about Kansas City too. They fans gonna jump on that, but it ain't the same. It ain't the same, but they
Mhm.
definitely be all over you too.
From year 2, I put Jalen over Josh, and Joe recently started putting them over Lamar. Only reason I haven't put him over Pat is due to accolades. Yeah, and that's basically what we
That's what
saying.
we saying.
We
Yeah,
basically what he's saying. So as soon as Hurts is able to put together another, another Super Bowl run or two, really, one more ring, maybe two more rings. That's all she, and especially if he can do it against Pat again. Oh man.
man. Even if he just go in there and get another one and another
Yeah.
Super Bowl MVP, or just have a great game,
Hmm.
hey, you gonna hear me start talking about it, man. I don't know. Pat, Pat, you better go get it. And then Pat don't get now in between that time. Man, I don't know, Pat. I don't know, Pat. but but yeah, Hurts gonna be straight. He gonna bring at least about two more of them things to the city, man. We like I said, we got him at number two. We got Patrick Mahomes, then we got Jalen. Now you
Hmm.
gotta to me, you gotta put him over Lamar because we just seen Lamar. As much as people try to act like Lamar ain't had great teams, he had great teams. And then they try to say, well, he ain't had no wide receivers. Well, you weren't saying that when you said it when the beginning of the because every season, because they was doing this for the Bills. They were saying the Bills was going to go to the Super Bowl so long. They got tired of saying it. They had to just
Hmm.
stop saying it every year. I don't care who was on the team.
Yeah.
Boom. Now they doing that with the Ravens into this year, but they've been doing that every. Some people still doing it, but they've been on the Ravens hard for the last 3-4 years. It's the Ravens, the Ravens, the Ravens. Now, as soon as they lose, he ain't had this and that. Well, y'all was saying he was going to the Super Bowl when y'all knew what he had and didn't have.
Hmm.
Now, since he didn't make it, he didn't have something. Well, why you was riding the bandwagon then? You already knew. You should have said when the season started. I think the Ravens probably could go, but they ain't. Nobody said that. Nobody said the Ravens ain't got this, so they'll probably get to the playoffs, and then they just no. Everybody had the Ravens going, even over the Chiefs, like the last 3 to 4 years. Ravens, and what he get there and do? Lamar the biggest folder in the damn playoffs. I would say Herbert, but he only went twice. But as many as time as Lamar went, he always goes to the playoffs and have bad performances. Herbert go. Herbert don't even really go to the playoffs, so I don't understand the Herbert hype. He don't even really go to the playoffs, but the two times
But when
he
he
went
do,
in
he
there.
throw four
He
picks.
went in, exactly. Every time he go in there, the two times he done went in there and looked like boo boo. And he threw a bunch of picks in both of them two L's.
Hmm.
Then doggone what's Joe Burrow. Joe missed the playoff. He can't make it to the playoffs. He hurt or the team just sorry. They
Hmm.
win every year. Is you got people out there saying how good they wide receiver duo is. Now they ain't got no defense. Why you keep picking them to do something then? You
Right.
knew the defense was trash when you picked them to beat somebody. They picked
Hmm.
them to beat us last year. Soon as we they beat you picked them to win when you knew that already. That boy can't stay. He injury prone.
Hmm.
Let's keep it real. Let's keep it
Hey.
real. What you got brewing, Ray? Come, I know you got something up your sleeve. Just keep it real. Nah, but y'all knew they ain't have no defense. Everybody keep talking about the Bengals. Man, the Bengals ain't gonna do a me ta ta. You hear me?
Hmm.
But look, yeah, Joe Burrow, he can't even stay healthy, and then when he do, they ain't even making the playoffs. So until further notice, I don't even want to hear nothing about Joe Burrow for real. What he
We can't
doing?
relate. We can't
He
relate.
riding, he riding off that one. He went to the Super Bowl one time in the AFC Championship many moons ago. That was so
Mm.
long ago. Like if they had a, if Herb, I mean if Hertz had a did the same as that thing, they would have been acting like, well, he did that so long ago. He ain't did it since then. No, they let
Mhm.
him. That's the difference between narratives. They gonna let Joe Burrow ride off that Super Bowl appearance and that AFC um championship
Appearance.
appearance. They gonna let him ride that forever just cause they like him and they want him to win.
Yep.
It's different with Hurts. They don't want him to win, and they don't like the way he play. So anything they can do to discredit him, even if another quarterback doing the same exact thing or less, they gonna use that to discredit him. And that's just how it's gonna be. You just can't let them pull the wool over your eyes. They
Right.
gonna they tell y'all whatever y'all wanna. I mean, they tell y'all whatever they want to say, and y'all be eating it up. That's why you got to watch the game yourself and form your own opinions.
Yeah, it's so
And
bad now. You can hear a take and know where they got it from.
exactly that too. So I hear somebody talking, I'll be like, "Yep, they been listening to Nick Wright. Yep,
Mhm,
they been listening to Acho.
mhm,
Yep, they been listening to doggone whoever else, Skip Bayless.
mhm, just input.
Yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, Jalen Hurts, the second best quarterback in the league, and and I'm not even. And then when you having that conversation with people, and I'm just gonna put this in there, and I'm done with it. A lot of times when you having a conversation with people about the best quarterback, they only thinking about one thing. They thinking about the talent. All
Mhm,
right, well, Josh Allen throw the ball better than Hurts, or Patrick Mahomes can throw the ball better than Hurts, or he throw it more than Hurts. It's more to that than being a quarterback. Because as good as y'all say them guys throw the ball, hell, what is it helping them do?
Throw a pretty ball on the couch.
They throwing pretty balls, and then right when playoffs come, they at the crib, or they throwing it to the other team.
A pretty pick.
Exactly. So it's more to being when I'm talking about the best quarterback, I'm talking about the best overall quarterback. How you win the game by any means. If you need to throw the ball, you can throw the ball, Jalen. If he need to hand the ball off to Saquon, if he need to change the play and call different plays, he gonna do that. If he need whatever he need to do, he gonna do it. And that's the only thing I hate about. That's the only thing that's really why I don't even care about AJ no more. Cause AJ ain't on that. He ain't trying to win by any means. He trying to win with his stats up. He
Mhm.
trying to win with his stats up. And they done already got to the point now where they don't even really like each other. So it really don't even matter. So now that you at this point, I done came to the conclusion, bro. You bad. Conclusion that you bad for the team, bro. You holding it. You basically holding the team back. Now,
Mm.
I wouldn't want to get rid of them right now, but when the season over with, pack your bags, Jack. Because I don't think it's really like we can't really call nobody else in here. Now, like even if we did go do what I said and trade for this cornerback and then this wide receiver, like we already know Jalen Hurts ain't got no chemistry with you. So he probably y'all chemistry like him getting the ball, even if he try to do it's probably gonna be off or whatever like that, or he probably just ain't gonna throw it to you. Might as well just ride AJ until the end of the season and hopefully they can just come together for one more run and get this Super Bowl and send his butt to the Browns or something.
Yeah, man. We gonna see. We gonna talk again over the bye week. Obviously, we gotta preview that Green Bay game next week. But I'm excited, man. The players gonna get a chance to rest up a little bit. Feels good to go into the bye at 6-2. Tell me what that
Man.
mean. What that mean to you? Being able to go into the bye with the record that we have, relatively healthy.
Yeah, I like it because even looking at the schedule, we kind of saying, man, we can go to the excuse me, we can go to the bye week 6-2 or better. We'll be in a good spot because what 6-2 allows you to do is you still in the position where because you got a hard schedule, you still in a position where if you lose a couple more games, it won't hurt you. And you only got a certain amount of games left. So if you drop another game or two, it's like, well, we only got this amount of games left. We go ahead and win those. But if you lose a bunch of games already and you still got a lot of games left, it's less room for error. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So now about us going in here 6-2, offense and the team trending in the right direction. We go ahead and clean something up, in which every team thinking that, but as far like the only thing we know is Nick Sirianni cleaning stuff up about ever since we had Nick after a bye week. He always the team is always trending in the right direction, even from like his first season. Team looking down, boom, out of the bye week, we come out there and win a bunch of games straight, running the hell out the ball. You know what I'm saying? So every season, whether we was already good or not, we come out the bye week, we even better. We did clean. So as far as we know, um that's the only thing that we do know. That Nick Sirianni is great coming off bye weeks. Not even just that game after a bye week, because I think he undefeated. the
Mhm.
game after a bye week, and it's gonna continue this week because we're gonna put boots on Green Bay. But I think that 6-2 just allow us a little bit more room for error, and a lot of times we might not that we are gonna have some errors, but it allow you just in case you have a slip up because you do have a down week or a down game. So if we was to lose one and only lose 3 games for the whole season, like that's good, especially with the teams that we got to play or whatever. Because we gunning for that 1 seed, we gunning for that 1 seed, and if everything got to come through Philly again. Man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And we only got to play 2 games. Man, it's a wrap. And we
Mhm.
get that bye week. And so that's another
Woo.
bye week we coming off of. Win them 2 games. Then you got the bye going into a soup. Man, I'm telling you, it's gonna kill damn. As long as we stay healthy, I already said the key to the season for us is gonna be healthy. All right.
Mhm.
I know the offensive coordinator and a lot of that got a little bit to do with it, but I think even regardless of that, if we can stay healthy, we still be able to make something shake. Just cause who he is, the kind of makeup that we got, the players that we got, the coaches that we got.
Man. So not only is 6-2 a good spot to be in, but it considering what the rest of the division is, even
Hmm.
if they come out and win, we still got a comfortable lead on them while we
That
gone.
too.
Even with the top teams, we already got a win over the Rams. We got a win over the Bucks, which I think the Bucks we got the same record as the Bucks right now. But we in a good spot because that's the best record in the NFC. So I think the Packers, the Packers might be the only ones that's technically ranked ahead of us because they got that tie, which I don't really know how that worked because I mean we got
Yeah,
more wins than they
I
do.
think if it come down to I think that's how I hurt them. But I think it'll only help them if like they're in a situation where they if they beat us.
Yeah,
And we
that's
got and
different.
now, yeah, if they mess around and beat us, and then at the end of the season, not only do they got a tiebreaker, but they got like we got the same record, but they got the tiebreaker and they got
Head to head.
the
Oh,
you know what
that
I'm
that
saying
half a
that
win.
yeah. So I think in a situation like that, that probably could work out for them. But as of right now, I don't really think it means too much.
Yeah. So yeah, we gonna chop it up again about certain things that we done seen in the first 8 weeks of the season. But that's all we had to talk about this game. We'll be back Thursday night football. Who we got? What's the Thursday night matchup?
You said it was dang, who did you say it was?
I don't even
Was it the
remember.
Dolphins? Nah, it wasn't the Dolphins.
Yeah, it might
Was
be.
it
I
the
think
Dolphins?
it's the Ravens and the Dolphins. So
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
return, we suspect the return of
Lamar
Lamar,
Jackson.
one of them guys that we was talking about. So we get to see him return. See if the Ravens can build off the win they had last week. And that's it. That's it. We'll see y'all back Thursday right here on Primetime Sports. Make sure
Mhm.
y'all hit that like button. Make sure you sharing this live out. And don't forget to subscribe. We'll be right back here Thursday. Y'all have a good night. And as always, go birds.
Ah.